Hey guys, the Invincible season 4 finale is here and it doesn't slow down at all. After the chaos of the coalition versus Viltrumite war in the previous episode, this episode shifts into psychological tension with Thrag's presence looming over everything. After his terrifying encounter with Thragg, Mark is deeply shaken. He begins experiencing repeated hallucinations of Thragg attacking Earth and harming the people he loves. These visions start when Mark realizes that Viltrumites may be heading to Earth not just to conquer but to rebuild their population. Nolan's success with Mark proves that Earth can produce powerful Viltrumite offspring, making the planet a key target. As Mark's anxiety worsens, he starts having panic attacks and seeks help through Cecil. What's interesting is that in this state, Mark seems to overlook major traits like Cecil secretly keeping Conquest alive previously, which is actually unusual for him, for Mark, because he usually remembers and keeps grudges because anything to harm with his family, he usually retaliates back. Things get even heavier when Mark learns that Eve was pregnant but chose to terminate the pregnancy. This adds to its emotional burden and sense of instability. The episode cleverly keeps the audience on edge with repeated appearances of Thragg, Regent Thragg, until the final twist. At the end, while Mark is flying to clear his mind, he encounters Thragg again, and the audience thinks that it's another hallucination. At first, it feels like another hallucination, but this time it's real. Thragg reveals his plan. Viltrumites will live among humans on Earth. Mark is given a choice: resist and risk massive destruction, or accept their presence under certain conditions. With no real alternative, Mark reluctantly agrees, placing the fate of Earth on his shoulders. Meanwhile, Nolan returns to Earth with Mark to set up monitoring systems to detect Viltrumite activity. However, this system seems ineffective as Thrag appears undetected later on. Nolan also revisits the site of his past battle with Mark, bringing back memories from season 1. We also see some developments in Nolan's personal life. Debbie and Paul have separated, which opens the door for Nolan to reconnect with her. Encouraged by Paul himself, Davy decides to visit Oliver with Nolan, and by the end, we see a softer side of Omni Man as he is excited to share a quiet moment of view of the world with Debbie. Even Nolan had some have some exchanges with Cecil, and Cecil, as being a boss, he orders Nolan because he thinks that because of them only there is a number 37 Viltrumites really angry, nothing to lose, and they will attack Earth. So he orders Nolan if there's any Viltrumite activity to come with the coalition forces to Earth as quickly as possible, which Nolan agrees. Eve's story, there are some lighter moments in this episode as well. Zoe tries to connect with Mark and Nolan, who are both overwhelmed while returning to Earth. And also, she also reunites with her father, who has actually not been taking care of himself because of Zoe's absence. Eve's storyline continues as we learn the truth about her pregnancy. Although she initially hints at weight gain, it later reveals she chose not to continue the pregnancy due to uncertainty about Mark's future. There are also subtle hints about her powers, like people we should have guessed that she has terminated pregnancy when she tells Mark that her powers have returned. And Cecil is shown working on a way to bring back Robot and Monster Girl, who appeared in previous episodes and went to another dimension. So he asks, with help Sinclair, he tries to bring them back, but the attempt fails, and Cecil concludes that they will have to find their own way back. On Telescria, we see Alan stepping into a new role as the new leader of the coalition. He struggles with the responsibility, but Talia helps him and reassures him. And other leaders question his decisions, especially regarding the survival of Viltrumites and where they are hiding, whereabouts of them. Alan at the end asserts his authority and receives actually tells that he will be the one taking decisions on matters on Viltrumites at the end. So he encouragingly, in his own way, tells the leaders of the coalition that he's in charge. And at the end, he receives a pre-recorded message from Thedas, which if Thedas passes away, he has kept the message ready for Alan, and he advises using the scourge virus if necessary, even if it risks affecting humans, highlighting the difficult choices ahead for Alan. So the finale balances action with psychological tension. Thragg's presence, both real and imagined, keeps the pressure on Mark and the audience alike. And with Viltrumites now potentially on Earth, the stakes are higher than ever. And if Alan discovers this, the big question remains: will he use the Scourge virus, even if it endangers humanity? That's something we'll have to wait and see in the next season.